Why Valiant is next and will be the biggest dancehall artist. What's up, guys? It's Lando here. Just want to do a video just explaining why I think he will be the biggest dancehall artist. Um, how he started off. If you don't know, he started off under Popcorn's camp, Unruly camp. He probably was doing music before, but this is what I remember. You know, they called him the unruly singer. And, it's a big thing. Why I say this is a big thing? Because Popcorn, he was under Vibes Cartel camp group, Gaza Empire. Gaza, everybody know, one of the biggest. And, Vibes Cartel, the biggest artist right now. Everybody know who Vibes Cartel is. So, for Valiant to be under Popcorn's camp, of course, he did. Well, he had to. There's no way he didn't, but he had to learn some stuff. He had to learn some stuff and knowledge and, put that in his craft. So now there was a time when he was still under the camp, he was on stage and he was performing. And people didn't really like him. People say, oh, Popcorn say, yo, you have to go back at training camp and this and that. And, that's a big thing because some people would go through something like that and they'll be like, okay, I can't do it, or I don't want to do this no more. They probably turn to do something else. But no, he didn't give up. He believed in his craft and look where he's at today. So that's a big thing to overcome that. That's a mentally, you have to be strong. Strong. So that's, one thing that stand out. The next thing is where, he had a bad show a couple years ago and, people say, yo, did have a bad show. No, did not move to him dance and music and da 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 da. And he heard all of that and he decided to acknowledge, it was just a rough start. And I truly believe that song there, Beer and Salt, that's one of his biggest songs. It's my favorite song, and with Valiant, that's one of my favorite songs. I have no favorite songs by him, but that there, big, you know. So that's another thing, you're turning negative to positive. Man, sky's the limit. So now with him, after him being under Popcorn Camp, he find a I don't know if you would say hit, but viral moment they would say, TikTok, Kotch E Hat. And what's so big about it is that it wasn't no gimmicks or controversy like how other artists blow up. He was just showing his character and how he is. And people love that. People love his character. People love that. So that's another factor. You know, people love how you are and how you act. And you don't have to pretend to be something else. Again, sky's the limit. So that's for sure something that stand out with Valiant. So he had, the Kotch E Hat, the viral moment, and people start looking at him, and he capitalized on that where he released multiple hits, songs where those songs have to play next 5 years, and they have to get a forward, you know. St. Mary, North Carolina, Since, Cut All Losses, Dunce Check, Speed Off, Narcissistic, like them songs there, big. Big, big, big. Another thing with Valiant, he's an all around artist too. We're very versatile, and he have hits. He have Gyal hits. He have Bodmon, Gunmon hits. Him have Conscience, and him have Nonsense. And I see the actual word because I don't want YouTube to flag me or anything. So I'm gonna try my best not to say the word, but you know, the Gyal tunes, Woii just come out with Passenger Princess, Bodman, Gunman, Dunce Cheque, North Carolina, his Conscience tune, Spaceship, Muhammad, Cut All Losses, Nonsense tune, my Mad Out, Rasta. So all those songs, them songs have to play. There's no way those songs are not gonna play and not get a forward. No way. And another thing too is consistency. Consistency is key. Every year he have a hit. Nobody can tell me every year Valiant don't have no hit. North Carolina 2022, Mad Out 2023, Bubblegum 2024, close to like ending of 2023, but same 2024. Passenger Princess 2025. This year, I think Woii, that's his song. Or who knows? He probably gonna come for the next one. Even though right now, the Shensia, My Turn, but. So consistency is key. And he's showing that. He's showing that every year. It has to come up with a hit. Every year. And that's a big thing. That there is a big thing. So now, a couple of years ago, I don't even say a couple of years ago, but before he was in a clash. And you might have some people be like, oh, him lose a clash, da 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 da. For him to be in that clash, and the clash I'm talking about is with TJ, that there was a win-win. Even if people feel like he lose, that still would have been a win for him. Because TJ was just coming out with Drift. He just had Drift. Big, everybody, Drift, everybody was doing the Drift. So TJ had that song there, and then after the clash started, Valiant said, you know what? This makes sense. Even if Valiant lose that, it don't matter. It's a win for him. It don't matter. And that clash there, nobody knows who won that because it didn't go on for long. In my personal opinion, I think that was a draw. I don't think TJ win. I don't think Valiant win. But now you have to ask yourself who you hear right now. You hear more Valiant on road, or you hear more TJ on road? And TJ is a bad artist, and I'm not saying nothing bad about TJ. Nothing. But you have to ask yourself that question right now. The next clash that he could have gone was with Skeng, when Skeng called his name. But no, he didn't. He said, that did not make no sense for him. And that was the smartest thing he did. Because Skeng had Little Miss back in 2022, and then Skeng called his name probably a couple of years after. So Little Miss was before TJ Drift. So did that make sense for him to start that clash with Skeng? No. And you just ignore him. So that there made sense for him to do that. And he knows when to pick the right battles. When, if he's in a clash or a battle, okay, this will probably benefit me. And that's a big thing. That is a very big thing for an artist to just acknowledge that and not just fight anybody. Not just be like, yo, me, I'm a bad artist. I'll fight this person, clash this person, that person. Yeah, the biggest. No. Because one wrong move could just change everything. So you have to be careful. So now, what do I think Valiant needs to do? to, you know, bigger, get just be the biggest. And what I think he needs to do, of course, he need more international collabs. He need more the Afro, the R&B, the hip hop, like this. He need more international collabs, and of course, more house friendly music where people with kids, they playing his music. And not saying he probably don't have that. He probably do. The clean songs, he probably do. But more of that would be nice, you know. A next thing is he need that one crossover song. That one crossover song for sure. He need that, and not just one, two. But you always want to work on one, and then you get the other, and then you work on the next and the next, one thing at a time. So he needs that one crossover song, something where it's about like love, where everybody could sing to and relate to. And the thing is, it's like the soca songs, they have that element. And that's why those songs get that nice, easy crossover where they'll probably get an artist, and that artist have a different fan base, and the fan base knows you. So he just need that one crossover song. And then the next thing is just continue to be funny. All them shorts, where he singing over his song, and just and it's funny, and he's just being himself. He needs to continue with that. Don't stop that. Continue with that. You know, people love when you can make them laugh and smile. That's a big thing, and not a lot of people could do that. Believe it or not, you just have some people that just miserable, or you know, that's a big thing. So yeah, and then of course, most importantly, don't stop. You probably not gonna watch this video, and that's okay. You know, but don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep on going. Cause like I said in the beginning, Valiant is next and will be the biggest dancehall artist